Hey guys, welcome back to another video in the r/entitledpeople subreddit. Just a short one from me today. I'm sorry, and I promise I love you, but I just wanted to quickly share this story with you guys that made my blood absolutely boil and obviously needed to share the pain. So to sum it up for you, a grown man in the ICU wasn't catered to his every beck and call, including demanding a nurse give him her personal reading glasses. So he throws a tantrum so huge that he nearly dies. Yup. So without further ado, let's jump into the story, shall we? Grown-ass man throws a fit and almost dies. I work overnight in my hospital's COVID ICU, and there's this one patient who is ridiculously entitled. Oh, how he loves to order all of us around, and his favorite trick was to wait until we'd finished whatever we were doing and were going out of the door to think of 2 or 3 other things he needed immediately, at which point we'd already doffed our PPE and therefore had to leave, and then get pissed off when we didn't turn around and immediately do it without PPE on. And sweet Jesus, you better believe that call light was grafted to his hand. Basically, he's an all-around attention seeker, as if you can be in the ICU and not get enough attention. Most people beg us to please leave them alone for a little while so they can get sleep. But I digress. When he arrived, he was critical enough that we had to intubate him and put him on a ventilator. After 3 days, he'd improved enough to get off the vent and switch to a heated high-flow cannula, which is a good thing, where we can gradually ease people down to hopefully just a regular nasal cannula, and also it meant he could eat. So he would call us to get him jello, popsicles, ice water, snacks, etc. at least hourly, and often more frequently than that, all night long. He didn't even eat all of them. He'd take a couple bites and throw the rest away and want another one 10 minutes later. He just wanted someone to go in and wait on him. This particular night, about 2 weeks after the admission, his doc restricted him to water only until morning because his sugar was running high. This patient did not like this because there went 75% of his means of getting attention. So he decided that taking off his high flow so that his oxygen stats plummeted was a great idea, because obviously we respond to those alarms damn quick. After the 3rd or 4th time of him deliberately doing this, I went in and sat down and had a blunt talk with him. I said, I know it's boring in isolation, it sucks that there's no visitors allowed, and yes, the hospital's cable plan leaves much to be desired, but he's hurting himself by doing this, and every time he does it, his oxygen levels take longer to recover. I told him, I get that you don't like being here, and I don't blame you a bit, but you're sabotaging your own recovery and making your stay longer by doing this. You've been improving steadily, and the last thing anyone wants is for you to go back on the vent. So is there anything that I can do to help you relax and get some sleep tonight? He said he supposed he could use his laptop, but he needed reading glasses to see the screen, so if I brought him some, he'd stop taking his oxygen off. I'm sorry, but we don't have disposable reading glasses. I can try to help you increase the text size on your computer, and in the morning maybe you can have a family member pick up your glasses from home and drop them off for you with security. Nurse has some out there. Our unit is basically a circle of rooms with a nurse's station in the center where we can see them, and vice versa. I'll just use those. Those are her personal glasses and she needs them. Besides, in isolation rooms, whatever comes into your room has to be disposable or your personal property. Then have the hospital optometrist come in and give me new ones. At this point, it's about midnight. We don't have a hospital optometrist. Seriously, does any hospital anywhere have an on-call optometrist? And even if we did, you're in COVID isolation. Only medically necessary staff are allowed into this unit. Can someone bring you yours? You will get me an optometrist. I have a caseworker who oversees my care across 3 counties. I'll call her and tell her, and she'll make you bring in someone to give me new reading glasses, etc., etc. The rant went on, but at this point, I am just done. So I repeat to him that none of this will be happening because you are in COVID isolation, sir. But if you can think of something reasonable that we can do for him, we'll be glad to do it. He's still making demands about glasses, so I leave because we're clearly not getting anywhere, and contrary to his apparent belief, he's not the only patient in the unit. 2 minutes later, his call light goes off. I go to see what he needs. He wants nurse's glasses. No. Call light wants glasses. No. Call light wants glasses. Are you effing kidding me right now? No. Call light. At this point, I don't even say, can I help you? I just tell him that it doesn't matter how many times he asks, nurse is not going to give him her glasses. And he's a grown man who knows better than to behave like this. Our unit is full, and we need to see to everyone's needs, not just his. If he has a real need, we're happy to help him, but he needs to accept that he's not getting nurse's glasses. So he takes off his oxygen. Now we're playing this game again. I gown up, run in, put it back in his nose, and leave. He waits until I'm outside getting wiped down and then looks me straight in the eye and pulls it off again. I gown up again, go back in, tell him he has to leave it on, put it back in his nose, leave, and he takes it off again. At this point, I tap out, because I'm a patient person, but this is beyond ridiculous, and I'm about to exercise my ex-Navy vocabulary at him, so another nurse takes over. She goes in and tells him that if a patient is a danger to themselves, we have to restrain them, and deliberately removing life-sustaining treatment qualifies as a danger to himself. She tells him she's not as nice as me, so he gets one chance to knock it off. He lets her leave, and then takes his oxygen off again. And one thing about this nurse, she doesn't bluff. 5 minutes later, his hands are restrained, which honestly the reason I put up with this crap for so long was because we try our damnedest not to restrain anybody. But at least now he can't take off his oxygen and maybe I can get some work done. Nope, he's got a new game. Throw a screaming fit. I swear to God, this grown-ass man in his 60s screaming that it's not fair, we're all so mean, why are we doing this to him, etc, etc, etc. It really is a tantrum and he has no medical excuse to be behaving this way. And now his vitals are all the way effed up and oh boy, he's sure getting all that attention he wanted because now we're all in his room trying to get him to stop before he codes. Night intensivists tell him to stop it now because he's endangering his own life. He screams, "Then tell that bee to give me her glasses," and then holds his effing breath like he's 2 years old. And by this point, he's gotten his heart rate so high and his oxygen so low that we have no choice but to sedate and intubate him and put him back on a ventilator, which he is still on now and may not come off again, all because he didn't get his way. Oh my gosh, that was actually painful to read. Age truly doesn't always mean wise, does it? Some people age like wine, and some age like milk. This man is cottage cheese that sat in the sun for 60 years. Imagine being so childish and entitled that the only way to learn your lesson is to almost die and be put on a ventilator. And I guarantee that he didn't even learn his lesson and will inevitably die, which is so insane to me. To risk your own health and life because you can't be considerate for 5 minutes? Unbelievable. This man is the type of person who's willing to let everyone else around him die to get what he wants. This man is the type of person that, if there were to be a zombie apocalypse, I would be more scared of the humans than the zombies. But honestly, I'm sure these patients exist all the time, and bless you sweet nurses and your work of angels, because there is no way in hell I'd be able to put up with people like this. Anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed that insane entitled person story. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!